What's happening in the model car community? This is Mopar Mike coming from the train room. How's it going out there today? I've been watching some videos and stuff. I seen Fred Henry. He was doing some how do you get in your hobby. I know somebody else had started it, but what got you interested in the hobby, or what got you into the hobby? Well, according to my folks, it stemmed back when I was just 10, 11 months old, and when I saw my first real train. Been loving trains ever since. And as far as the hobby, I guess it stems, they cross over, because when I was 2 years old, which I only remember by pictures and stuff, but I do remember what I got for Christmas that year was a train set. It was a Marx work train. It was a nice set. I played with it, and it stemmed on when I got a little older. More train sets for Christmas. Got into the HOs, and I dealt with HOs for, a lot of years in between there. And as far as the model building is concerned, my dad kind of got me into it when I was 5 or 6 years old, maybe 7. The TV program Black Sheep Squadron was on TV. Well, he's always been interested in airplanes, and I got interested in them as well, so he brings home a little 148 scale monogram Corsair. Well, me and him, or he built it for me. I can't recall, but I know he was involved. And one thing led to another. Then same year or so, the series didn't last a couple of years. It came out where I think Revell came out with a 132nd scale Corsair. He also built that for me. And up till 10 years ago, I think I may have tossed that plane. It was all beat up and everything. But and during those years from 6 on up to I was a teenager, I started building. And when I started really building cars, 10, 11 years old, I was in the hospital with appendicitis. And my uncle, he brought me a couple of model cars. I think, if I remember right, one was a Camaro, and somebody brought me a snapped together Peterbilt semi, which I still got a few pieces of both cars and somewhere in this heap. But that's when I started building cars, and on up to I was still in high school. I built one every once in a while. I built a bunch of Johan kits. They were still selling them 12, 13 years old at the local Walmart. And I picked up every one they had. Superbirds they had, whatever. I picked them up. But, and I got married. I had to put them away a little bit. And I still have my HO trains and whatnot. And I would, pack them away in boxes. I had nowhere what to do with them. And when I got married, I kind of picked it up again. The models here and there. And like I said, I was always into trains. And I would get these little cheap locomotives and cars and stuff, and try to paint, weather them up, whatever. I tinkered with them, and I just enjoyed miniature. I've always liked anything in miniature, I guess, planes, trains, and automobiles. But like I said, I got heavy in the trains, and even during when I got married, I tinkered with the HOs, and one year my wife, she bought me a Lionel set. Well, I've always had the want to for Lionels, but I never had the money. And then we started a few more years after our daughter was born, job changes and raises and whatnot. I started buying my train collection, and that's what I've done for the most part. And in between, I would, I built an airplane or two. I built the B-17 the Memphis Belle for my brother-in-law one time for Christmas because that's what we wanted. Because during this time we was also flying the RC planes, and I was with my dad a lot. We, you know, from pretty much first 3 years of marriage, I guess we got married in '94. I flew model airplanes, RCs for up to 2002, 2003, and after my son was born, I kind of got out of it and haven't been back in it since. But I've always loved miniatures, so building models, whatever. Those RC planes, there was more work to it though than it was for enjoyment. So, you know, I just kind of got burnt out on it, and I went back to my trains. And, you know, it stayed dormant a little bit. I built a couple of NASCAR in between, had an urge to go do it. So when Dodge got back into NASCAR, I was into watching NASCAR. I think it was 2001. Those years I built, like when they Revell released the Intrepid, I built a couple, and I've made videos on it. If you look back in my archives, you know, I even used an old beat up Badger airbrush and an old air compressor that I found at a flea market for 20 bucks, 30 bucks. But and then a few years ago, also this leads to my channel name. Well, really, I've been into video gaming. Okay, this is, you know, here a few years since 2005, 2006, when the Call of Duty series just started. I was into that. Okay, well, watching some of those gamers play zombies and Call of Duty and whatnot, I ran across some model builders, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Jan Hare that I actually picked up on. And then when I Googled it some more, that's where I ran into Chris Cortell and Plastic 101's channel, and his led to Gary's at MC, Model Works, and that so on and so on. Ran into Chris Chapman. Man, I said, this looks fun. Yeah, this looks fun. But in order for me to watch these videos, getting back to that, in order for me to watch these videos, I had to come up with, I had to open up me a YouTube account, so to speak. So whatever thing popped in my head, I've always been into Mopars. So Mopar Mike Sr., I just threw that together. That's basically how this channel got started. And one thing led to another. Watching Dr. Cranky, like I said, Chris and Chris Chapman and Gary and a slew of others, man. It's just one thing led to another, and I said I'd like to get back into it, and well, here I am now. I'm back into it, but thought I'd drop that and tell you how I got into the hobby. And there's also another video telling things that people don't know about. Well, heck, you pretty much know everything I like to do, and you know, I've always been into Chrysler muscle cars, so I mean, it's pretty much out there on the table. Love history. Don't get me wrong, I still love the planes. That's why I got some model planes. You see me build a model plane. And I'll be doing that from time to time. And I'm kind of an amateur historian. I watch a lot of the History Channel, and I just love it, especially the World War II era, per se. There was always, I always find it, love that era. One thing, my granddaddy was part of the beaches, storming the beaches of Normandy, and went on into Belgium and fought in the Battle of the Bulge. So he was all part of this history, and voila, here I am. I like to do tanks and stuff like that. And another thing about, I guess y'all probably don't know, I still love to play video games, and I'm currently playing a game called War Thunder, which is tanks, planes. You could, you know, do either one, and it goes up to the post-war era and through the early '60s, I guess. M60 tanks and the Soviet T-55s and T-54s and stuff like that. You know, that's about as far as it goes. In the aircraft side, F-86, it's about to the Korean War. But it's a fun game. It's historically, you know, as far as the graphics and everything. A lot of times that's what I like to do late in the evenings. Once, twice, 3 times a week I'll sit down and play for a couple hours. But that's about it. I know I'll probably talk long enough. A 10-minute video, I think it is. But I just thought I'd drop that in there. And, you know, I have this Sunday afternoon. I've been working on the 101 Classic 101 tribute build. I got paint gassing out right now, primer. I primed the body and on its second coat. I've done some more preliminary sanding and got some defaults out of it and cleaned it up some, so it's sitting there. Hopefully next day or 2, 3 days maybe I might be able to put some paint on it. But been doing all the other stuff. I've still got to detail the engine, finish up the wires. I've been painting sub-assemblies, putting together hog heads, stuff like that. Painting rims. Magnum 500. It's hard to see with this camera. The lighting. Hand painted all those. Playing around with the grill a little bit, trying to get some detail work on it with that chrome pin and a little bit of. This is really an update, but that's just show you what I've been doing all day Saturday. Now Sunday rather, excuse me. I'm almost track of time. Getting ready for that big solar eclipse. Gonna be a mess in Columbia. Here, supposedly Columbia and South Carolina's right that dead eye of that thing. I got to go all up in it tomorrow at work. But fellas, I appreciate you watching. All you guys, I appreciate the subscribers and all the guys and the people that comment on my channel and watch my builds. I do appreciate it. But I just thought I'd drop a little bit here just to kind of, you know, give back to the community a little bit on that. Some information anyway. Eventually I will, and I've been thinking about it, is doing some tutorials, at least the way I do them. Everybody's got their own way. But, you know, from paintbrushes to sanding sticks, stuff like that, you know. Basically stuff I picked up from some of the veterans that's out there on this channel on YouTube. So, but wherever if I come up with something that, you know, maybe different or whatever, I'll show you. I ain't got, or if you got a question for anything that I do, PM me and I'll get right back to you with an answer. Well, that's all I'm gonna talk about tonight. I guess I'm gonna get off here and see if I can't dig something to eat, maybe, and call it a night. Y'all take it easy. As always, take care, and God bless each and every one of you. Thanks.